Welcome to We Are Women, Unapologetically, the podcast that talks about the good, bad, ugly, and awesome. Careers, life transitions, confidence, and everything in between. Because shift happens, but you don't have to do it alone.
My name is Jessica Cumming, and welcome to We Are Women Unapologetically. Now that we've addressed the mental roadblocks that will happen, let's talk about the assets that you already have that you can leverage to help accelerate this pivot. This is what I actually call the pivot stack. And it's something that a lot of women actually miss when pivoting. The key about this is I want you to remember is that you are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. Every skill, every connection, every insight, every failure. Those are all experiences that you can take with you into your new role. So let's talk about how do you leverage this power stack. Asset number one, your professional network. Your current network is gold. You just may have to look at mining it a little differently. The latest research from Kellogg's School of Management said that some of the most successful career pivots actually leverage dormant connections. People you've worked with in the past but haven't necessarily reached out to or interacted with recently. They actually offer both a fresh perspective but also established trust. Those two are a pretty powerful combination. An action step for this is identify 3 to 5 people in your current network who work adjacent to where you want to go. And then invite them to a reconnection coffee, whether it be in person or virtual. Pick their brain. Let them know that you want to gain insight into what they've already learned. Asset number 2 is going to be your transferable skills. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend you listen to the episode Masterclass on transferable skills. In there, we deep dive so much more into what they are and how you can utilize them. But for this one, we're just going to briefly go over what are your transferable skills. These are actually called power skills that are often overlooked. They are such things as strategic thinking, leadership, problem solving, crisis management. They are skills that you may utilize every single day, and to you, they don't even seem like they're skills. They're just part of your job. A study found that professionals that actually identify and claim their transferable skills are 3.4 times more likely to successfully pivot versus those who solely focused on industry-specific expertise. Action step for this one is to create an inventory of 5 to 7 transferable skills that you have. Write down concrete examples of how you use them and focus on the outcome of each. This becomes your pivot narrative. Asset number 3 is your earned credibility. Your track record in your current role. Number 3 is your earned credibility. Your track record results in what psychologists call the halo effect. Your proven track record in one area influences your perception in another area. In practical terms, the credibility that you have already created in your current role creates a presumption of you being able to do the same in your next role. According to research published in the Applied Journal of Psychology, stated professionals with established reputations for excellence experience a 6 to 9 month runway or a credibility grace period when transitioning into a new role. That is a critical window for establishing new expertise. Action step. Document your most significant achievements in your current role. Focus on the outcomes, not necessarily the actions. These become your credibility anchors during your pivot conversations. Asset number 4, your unique perspective. This might be overlooked in your asset stack normally, and I really want to bring focus and attention to it because it's super, super important. Coming from the outside of an industry, you offer a unique perspective. You have not always been necessarily looking at solving the same problem. You bring a fresh set of eyes. You are not stuck in the mindset of this is the way it's always been done or this is the way we need to do it. The Harvard Business Review actually calls this the outsider's advantage. And they noted that 41% of innovation breakthroughs actually come from ideas from people that are new to the industry. So your action step for this one is to start documenting what you see in the industry that you're looking at going into. What constraints do you see? What reoccurring problems have you noticed? What efficiencies are there? What inefficiencies are there? What connections do you see that others may have missed? This becomes your unique value proposition. Now, with these assets being identified, let's talk about how do you protect this emerging version from the demands of your current reality. The first one is critical but often gets overlooked. How do you look at protecting your emerging vision without sabotaging your current position? This requires both boundaries and strategic communication. First, let's address the energy vampires: people, situations, activities, obligations. These drain the limited resources that are critical and valuable to your pivot. According to time management research by UC Berkeley, most professionals can identify 3 to 5 hours a week of commitments that don't align with their current path nor their future goals. That is potentially 15 to 25 hours a month you could be using for your pivot. The challenge, it requires saying no. And women are 2.5 times less likely to say no than men because they don't want to seem uncooperative. So here is a script that you can utilize for graceful boundaries. I am currently at capacity with my core responsibilities and the development project that I'm a part of. I cannot take this on right now and do it justice. I can recommend the name of someone that may be able to help. Notice, no apology, just clarity, no over-explanation, and a potential solution. Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, well, yeah, that's great. Easier said than done. But here's the reality when it comes to boundary setting. So if you've been multitasking, come back to me and listen to this. Every misaligned no is a yes to your future self. Now let's talk about how and when do you look at communicating your potential pivot plans. This does require nuance because oftentimes transparency is best, but premature disclosure can lead to unnecessary complications. Here is my guidance to you. In the exploratory phase, be very careful and selective of who you tell your plans to. Tell your plans to your most trusted confidants that want to see you learn and grow, that are wanting to support you, rather than those that may just project their fears on you. In the commitment phase, begin to open up a little bit more. Look at framing your pivot as professional development rather than dissatisfaction with your current role. Here's a script of how you can look at discussing your pivot with your manager. I'm committed to my role here, and I also want to continue growing my skill set that could benefit the team long term. I've been exploring X and would like to continue to develop it more. Would you support me in certain requests as part of my professional development? This approach not only positions you as a team player, but it also shows your long-term strategy for growth and continuous learning. Now that we've looked at protecting your pivot, let's talk about how to maintain progress when momentum feels slow. One of the biggest challenges as part of a strategic pivot is maintaining momentum when the end goal feels out of reach. According to a motivation research done by the University of Chicago, the likelihood of abandoning long-term goals increase by 60% when progress feels immeasurable or ambiguous. So let's talk about how do you track your progress on a monthly basis so you can see the progress that you've made and keep your momentum going. This is where we get into what I call the progress points. And again, I want you to look at tracking these on a monthly basis because it is amazing the progress that you can make once you track it and you look back at it over a 12-month period. So point number one that I'd like you to track is the connection capital. And this is how have your connections grown? Have you added a new person in your target field? Have you deepened a relationship with an existing contact with someone that's already in that field? Have you participated in any community or industry events and started to position yourself as a thought leader? Even one meaningful conversation a month makes significant changes over a year. Progress point number two is going to be your skill acquisition. What have you learned that you didn't know before? What can you do now that you couldn't previously do? What resources have you discovered that are expanding your understanding. Research shows by recognizing skill development areas increases confidence and accelerates further growth. Progress point number 3 is going to be your identity shift. Notice how you're starting to see yourself a little bit differently. Are you starting to identify with your pivot direction? Are others beginning to associate you with this new direction? Are you feeling more comfortable claiming this new direction? According to identity research, these subtle shifts often precede and predict successful career transitions. And progress point number 4 is going to be opportunity emergence. Track doors that are being opened that weren't previously there, even if you're not ready to walk through them. Are you being invited to participate in conversations related to your pivot area? Are opportunities finding you that weren't finding you a year ago? Are you noticing possibilities that weren't even previously on your radar? The emergence of unsolicited opportunities is often the first sign that your pivot is gaining traction. Here's the powerful part. When you track the progress, you create evidence of movement even before the big breakthrough happens. This sustains momentum during the inevitable plateaus of your pivot journey, and they will happen, I promise you. Armed with this progress tracking system, you're ready for the final piece, which is putting this all into action with concrete tools. And if you're ready to actually put this into action, I have just the toolbox for you to do it. I have come up with a Power Pivot Toolkit just for you. It includes a 2-hour Power Pivot planner, something to help you optimize your Power Pivot time. It also includes the strategic conversation guide, scripts and prompts for those critical yet sometimes scary networking conversations. It also includes your Power Pivot tracker that we just talked about, a simple system for measuring those progress points, boundary scripts for protecting your pivot, word for word language for creating the space that you need. And last but not least, it includes the Identity Bridge Workshop, exercises to help you navigate between the professional identity of who you are now and who you're going to be. This isn't fluff because what you are doing is tough stuff. It's hard, but we can do hard things together. So if you want to know more on how to get that toolkit, send me a message and I'll send you the information. This is your invitation to shift with structure, not stress. So as we wrap this up today, I want you to remember, you are not stuck. You are ready. You just need a framework, and now you have it. So let's make this next chapter in your career not about the hustle, but about honoring what's next while respecting what is. Remember, the most powerful pivots rarely make headlines, but they do make impact. If this resonated with you, like, share, tag me in it, connect with me on LinkedIn, and let's have a conversation. And until next time, stay fierce, stay bold, but most importantly, stay unapologetically you.